Welcome to our first episode of Ghost Gab. I am your host, Dave Schumacher, with our other host,
Jennifer Lauer.
And we're from the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group. And the first thing we want to do tonight is give you an introduction to the group and what we're all about. And I'm going to leave that up to my friend Jen over there.
Well, thanks, Dave. As Dave said, we are the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group. We are a team of paranormal investigators who use scientific methods to document paranormal activity. That's pretty much who we are. We've been around since the organization was founded in 1999. We cover the entire Midwest, and we have currently 28 members.
Well, that's a lot of members.
Yeah,
it's growing quite a bit.
Exactly. We do have a goal or a mission statement that we really stick to, and that goal pretty much is that we just try to research, investigate, and document paranormal activity, and to present the best information and evidence that's possible using our scientific edge.
So you're basically trying to bring credibility to the field of paranormal investigation. We like to make what we do kind of scientific and worthwhile so we can provide evidence.
Exactly.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to contact the group or get in touch with us, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they can visit our website at www.paranormalresearchgroup.com, or they can give us a call at area code 608-931-3633.
All right, that sounds good. Well, we're going to move on to the next segment of our show, and it's basically going to be an introduction to the show. So we'll be right back, and we're going to go ahead and get started with that. All right, and we're back. Dave Schumacher with Jennifer Lauer over there. And now we're going to move on to the introduction to the show. This is a new show, Ghost Gab. Unfortunately, Ghost will not be talking to you, but instead Dave and Jen will be talking to you about a variety of things. Each show we're going to plan on covering a certain paranormal topic, something that has to do with ghost hunting or just the paranormal in general. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the upcoming shows at the end of this one. The other thing we'd like to do is go through movie, book / website reviews. I know we have one coming up today with Mustard Troy.
You'll enjoy that.
And Jen, what's he going to be reviewing today?
He's going to be reviewing the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Okay, I heard that's a good movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I hope to get out and see that based on Troy's recommendation.
Troy had a really good review, so...
Okay, well, I look forward to that, the Mustard Man. The other thing we'd like to cover is equipment and process reviews and techniques, especially people who have been involved in this for a while, or those people who have been new to the ghost hunting arena. They really want to figure out what equipment to use, how to use it, how to best use it. And the other thing we'd like to do is talk about new technology and how you can incorporate it into the ghost hunting world. So this one we'll be doing in the show as well. The other thing that we thought would be kind of fun is certain case reviews or places of interest. I mean, you could probably think of a couple places right off the top of your head that would be kind of fun to talk about. I mean, which ones do you think would be kind of cool?
Oh, wow. I think the Brumner Mansion in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think that was one of our best ones. Also, maybe the bar next door in Madison, Wisconsin. That was another really good one that we got a lot of good data at. So, yeah, we got lots of them.
Yeah, those as far as ones we've investigated. And then if you look at some of the more popular places, I'm sure eventually we're going to touch on Bachelors Grove and...
Mansfield Reformatory in Ohio.
Okay, and isn't there another spot in Illinois that one of our other investigators, Rob, likes to talk about quite a bit?
Oh, Rob loves the Manteno State Mental Hospital. That is his favorite. He will be ranting, I'm sure, on that topic.
That's probably going to be a whole topic in itself, is Rob's rants, and I'm sure he'll spend a good amount of time on his investigations in that
Yes.
particular location.
And Rob is a character. You will enjoy his rants.
Yes, I look forward to those. The other thing we like to touch upon is paranormal in the news, both world, regional, and local. Since we are based out of Wisconsin and northern Illinois, that's where the regional stuff will come from. But we also scan the regional and the world news as well to see what's going on in the world of paranormal, because there is a lot going on out there if you know where to look for it.
Right.
The other thing we'll get into is some of the upcoming events that are sponsored both by our group and other groups that are involved in paranormal work. Finally, we'd probably just give you a couple tips on websites to look for, other things to, keep you busy between our shows. Because,
right.
of course, we'll give you new stuff every so often. We'd also like to remind you that you can visit our website at www.paranormalresearchgroup.com to get updates on upcoming shows and topics, and also to download the show that currently is done.
Not to mention the reports on everything that we've done, all their investigation reports, everything that we are involved with. So,
and if you want to see pictures of your two good-looking hosts here, you can certainly go on the website and take a look at Dave and Jen, and send us some email if you like to.
We love email, and we may even use them in shows coming up. For, different topics. So yeah, don't hesitate to email us with your information or whatnot. So.
Yeah, that would be great. You can just go ahead and submit your emails through the website. If you have topics or questions that you would like us to answer in our upcoming shows in the future, we plan on going ahead and reading those emails and answering those questions. So that's it. I mean, I'm pretty excited to be bringing this new show called Ghost Gab to everybody, and hope you enjoy it. Yeah. And we look forward to your input to make the show work and make it what you want it to be. Jen, do you have any closing comments on that?
Just wanted to say that I look forward to working with you and working with everyone involved, and I think this is going to be a really good show.
I look forward to it. So let's move on to our next topic of the day, okay? We'll be right back. Join the members of the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group on June 11th, 2005 for an overnight investigation of one of the most haunted prisons in the Midwest. The Ohio State Reformatory, also known as Mansfield Reformatory, has been the scene of some of the most horrible crimes in history and is believed to be haunted by some of its previous criminal residents. Hollywood has even spent many hours behind the bars of the prison filming such movies as The Shawshank Redemption, Air Force One, and Tango and Cash. Join us for this great event as we explore and investigate the many hauntings of the Mansfield Reformatory. Round-trip transportation from the southern Wisconsin area and Chicago will be provided to Ohio. For more information or to register online, go to www.paranormalresearchgroup.com or call 608-931-3633. We hope to see you there. All right, we're back, and we're going to jump right into our topic of this show, which would be paranormal groups, things to look for if you need help or if you're looking to join a group. So, Jen, I'm going to let you kick it off here. What are some of the goals of these paranormal research groups that are out there?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that you're going to want to look for. You're going to want to look for someone who seeks out evidence of ghosts, not just someone who wants to take photos all over your house. I mean, there's a big difference between a ghost hunter and a paranormal investigator. So I think there's just some things that you want to differentiate between the two.
What kind of evidence are you looking for? Are you looking for the people who come in and say, I sense something? Or are you looking for groups that do a little bit more than that can document these things?
Well, I think we want to document, of course. We want people's opinions on, especially the witnesses, people who have experienced things in the house or the residence, wherever we're at. But for the most part, we want to document different types of activity that's going on, like natural energy fields, electromagnetic fields, ions, just a bevy of different data collection that we're looking for. But all ghost groups are not the same either. Some people prefer psychics. Some people prefer scientific-based groups. I think it's all on what you're looking for.
Okay, so we'll get into that a little bit later. Really, if we're gonna do the science-based, or if you're looking more towards the psychic to help somebody move on. Mm-hmm. That being said, what are you trying to do to help the homeowners? I mean, what do we want to do? What are you looking for in a group?
Well, I think the homeowners more or less want us to alleviate their anxiety or their feeling of, am I crazy? Is this really happening, or am I just going through this dream state? Am I dreaming? Am I crazy? So I think that's the biggest thing that they want us to do is just to say, no, you're not crazy. There is actually something going on here, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. So
albeit if it's natural or paranormal in nature,
right? They
want an explanation. So you're basically you're looking for a group that's going to help people,
right?
Not just come in and I sense something.
Right.
Let's
you can't
bust
document
that ghost.
thing. You can't document that type of information. From the psychic end of things, it's great to know, but when it really comes down to knowing and to documenting that type of thing, you really can't. There's no way to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm opposed to psychics, but I think it would be nice to be able to use some sort of scientific method or data recording to support their claims.
Or even back it up with some piece of equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
Okay, so what do you think is the other thing that you should look for in a ghost group if you're looking either for the help or you want to join a group? What's something good that they do?
Well, I think the main thing is that they're out there and they're active, and that they're going to be providing information to the public, not to mention their members, to keep everyone updated on their findings, what's going on, new theories, new publishings. That I think that's real important to stay up to date with what's going on, because it's such a controversial topic that no one has all the answers, because it's just not possible to have all the answers.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely agree with that. And I think you really need to find a group that's open to the diversity, variety of theories and ideas that are out there that will present it to you in a manner of not being judgmental,
right.
But this is where it's at. This is where the field of paranormal research is at.
Right. And I do think that paranormal investigators need to have a skeptical edge to them, because, you don't want someone who's going to automatically think that it's a ghost. We want to be able to verify that it is not a natural source. We have already tried to, we're eliminating every natural occurrence that we can, and what we have come to find is that it is something that we're not aware of. So I think that's just that the natural selection of things.
Yeah,
is important to everything that is natural to omit first before you assume it's going to be something unnatural or paranormal.
Well, and I think you need to do that if you want to bring any type of credibility to the field. You got to be able to rule out any and all natural causes for what people might be experiencing, being it from rats in the attic to hallucinations caused by stray electromagnetic fields.
Right.
And you need to rule all that out. And once you rule it all out, and if there's nothing else left to explain it, then perhaps you'd be able to name that or say it's paranormal in nature.
I agree.
Okay, well, why don't we move on to something else here? Things to look for in a group, either if you're looking for a group or if you want to join one. And one of the things I've noticed through my years of doing this and surfing the internet, and the internet really being a big boon for paranormal research groups, ghost hunting groups, is that there are a ton of websites out there. And I just wonder, a lot of these websites, they have to be a lot of wannabes, because I know I've emailed people to say, hey, what are you doing? I'm kind of interested in your group. I want to see what you're doing in my area. I want to know, what type of things you're investigating, what type of equipment you're using. And a lot of times I don't get anything back from these people. So I really think there's just a lot of wannabes out there, and because it's so easy to put a website out there,
Right.
that anybody can do it. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I call them armchair ghost hunters. Those are the people that are really interested in it, but they don't do a whole lot of the actual research or the investigation or the documentation of, they're more of, I've got my camera and I'm going to take some pictures. And that's about the extent of their activity in the group. And they usually last about 6 months, and then they're no longer a group anymore. And, that's fine if that's what they want. But, if you're looking for someone who, a group who really wants to get down to, really want to find out what's going on in the paranormal world, you're going to want to look for certain things on their websites.
So you're probably thinking that a lot of these people out there are just thrill seekers. They think it's cool. Let's
Right.
get together, take some pictures, and try to find a ghost.
Right. And there's some ways to differentiate these people,
Okay.
these groups.
Well, why don't we talk about some of those? I think that's very important. I mean, once you get on a website and you actually get a response back from somebody, and you find a site or a group that you think looks pretty reputable, how do you know that they're reputable? One of the main things, one of the first things I think you should look for is, do they provide a full name, a first name, last name, and some type of contact information?
Exactly.
It's very easy to put a website out and just say, hey, this is our group. Contact us if you've seen anything. But my feeling is that you're really serious if you're willing to give your first and last name as long as a telephone number.
Right. I agree.
And that's something I think the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group is very good at doing, is that, all of our members are listed on the website and phone numbers.
Well, yeah, our main number is listed, and you feel free to contact any one of our members. Their email addresses are all listed. So feel free, contact anybody you want to, and they're all going to help you with whatever you need.
Okay, sounds good. The next thing, I think, when you look at some of these websites, for me, and if I was a homeowner, I would look at it and say, is this somebody I want in my house?
Right.
I mean, I've looked at a few websites, and I think, I'm not really sure if I want this person in my house. So do you think that's a pretty important thing to do?
Absolutely. I think that's, on a homeowner's perspective, I think that's real important. You want to make sure that this person's not going to come in and rob you blind. That's probably the biggest thing, and not to mention the fact that are they a kook? Are they going to come in and blow smoke up my rear?
Yeah, this in this day and age, you have to be careful.
Right.
I mean, you just don't want to invite any old person into your house.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you just have to be real careful, and as Dave's going to tell you a few different things to look for on the websites and stuff to make sure that they're a reputable organization.
One of the things that always would make me a little wishy-washy or iffy about a person is if these are people who dabble in magic, the occult, or they claim to, Ouija boards, they claim to be able to do magical cleansings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these aren't really people that are interested in true paranormal research, and they're probably not going to be able to give you the answers that you need. Because let's face it, most people who have something going on in their house, they're looking for answers. They want to make sure, like you said before, that they're not nuts, that what's occurring is natural or not natural. They want answers. They don't want somebody to come in and provide some, let's do the rain dance and tickle each other with the feather and we'll go ahead and get rid of this ghost. So I mean that's one of the main things I would be a little skeptical of.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
I mean, if that's something that you're interested in, that's fine, but if you're really looking for some serious paranormal research, I would stay away from that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing I would look at is there's going to be certain groups that charge for their services.
Psychics are more on that, I think, than investigators, but there are ghost hunters or investigators that will charge for their services. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, there'll be some that they will have a certain fee for their services, and like you said, mainly it's the psychics that they're going to come in and charge you to tell you what spirits are there and what's going on in your life and what your dead relatives have to say. But again, if you are looking for a serious paranormal research group, they're not going to charge you for their services, because these people are truly interested in documenting evidence about ghosts or helping people.
They're dedicated to the research.
Yeah, they're definitely dedicated to the research. They're not looking for cash.
Right.
There are some groups that, if they have to travel a couple 100 miles and stay overnight, they may be looking for reimbursement of expenses. But again, most of the groups that I'm familiar with do not do that. They foot the bill out of their own pocket.
Right. And a lot of groups, as we do, we fund our organization through different events and such like that. So we can afford to fund our research.
So basically, a big red flag would be if somebody says, for $100 we can come out and document and get rid of your ghost. You would stay away from those people.
Definitely, I would actually keep looking.
Yeah.
Because there's probably someone out there who's probably going to give you better results and a lot less pocket.
A lot less BS.
Yes, exactly. So yeah.
Okay. The other thing I tend to look for and I advise people on is that ghost research groups and investigation groups only come by invitation. I would be a little weary of the person that calls you out of the blue or knocks on your door or rings your phone at 8 o'clock at night like an annoying ass telemarketer asking you, I've heard about your house. I would like to come investigate. Mm-hmm. That would be a red flag for me again, because serious paranormal researchers are trying to help people who really need help. They're not digging for places to go, and if they are, you can find plenty of public places to go in and investigate if you're looking for something to do. So I don't know if you have any more thoughts on that, but I would stay away from those type of people.
Yeah, I agree. And if you are searching out the services of a good paranormal investigation group, ask around too, because if you know of another haunted location, go and ask them who did you have come in and check out your place. Good for check the newspapers, who's been investigating these places that are so-called haunted or whatnot. So there's always good, and you're gonna jump on the internet, you're gonna do a search and you're gonna go, oh my god, where do I start? And start local. I think that would be your best bet, is to start local and kind of work your way out.
Yeah, and the other thing, if you're going to talk about starting local, there's a lot of national groups and chapters that have local representatives in your area, like the American Ghost Society. Mm-hmm. You can go to their website, and they have a list of area representatives, and it's a very credible group, and they do go through a pretty rigorous certification program, if you will, to make sure these are legitimate people that are able to help you with what's going on.
Exactly.
So, Jen, you talked about, you find these people, what to look for. What type of qualifications would you ask about these people?
Well, I guess how long have they been doing this? Have they come to any conclusions, or have they documented anything really, substantial?
Yeah, one of the things I really like to do is look at the reports on the website, because honestly, I see a lot of crap on the website. You see pictures of dust or snow or rain, and these people are right away going to say, we've documented activity of ghosts, which isn't true.
Right.
And
unless they can back it up with some other different type of, if they can say, our EMF detector went off at the same time we caught this photo of this orb flying by, great. You just backed up some kind of evidence,
Yeah,
it's something.
Yeah, what I really like is people that are skeptical,
right,
going into it. And that's something I think a homeowner should look for. If you're going to invite somebody into your house, you don't want them to come in and just say, hey, you definitely have a ghost based on
what you've said.
Comments.
Right.
I mean, not saying that they don't, but you want somebody to come in and help you figure out what the heck is going on.
Exactly.
And it's not going to do you any favors if they just are assuming everything they see and hear is a ghost.
Right.
Okay. Good. Well, thanks for that. The other thing I think we touched upon is affiliations. I guess the American Ghost Society is one. I don't know if you have any other ones that you would look out for.
I think there's the International Ghost Society as well, or something along those lines. I'm not a member, so I'm not really sure, but I've heard good things about them. And as Dave said, we are Wisconsin representatives for the American Ghost Society, and which is a very reputable organization, national organization.
Yeah. And if you're looking for help to determine if it is a reputable group, I mean, certainly contact us through our website, and we have a pretty good feel for what's good and what isn't out there. And we also have a lot of contacts in some of the other national societies, so we'd be able to help you there as well. Again, just emphasize, it would be good for you if they have on their website the research reports. And this really gives you an idea of how these people operate and what they are looking for and what they do.
Right. Exactly.
And if they don't have it on the website, would you request these people to send you a report or talk to them about what they've done?
Yeah, right. I mean, when we do an investigation for someone, anybody, we provide them with a full investigation report, whether we found anything or not. We're going to, report to them the data that we collected, even if we didn't collect anything of paranormal nature. We're still going to let them know what we collected, and we generally don't put things on the website that are just, I would say 80% of the investigations we do are, natural occurrences. So there's nothing paranormal about them, so we don't post them on our website. So the ones that we post are generally the ones that we think are very interesting and that we want to present to the world as paranormal. So,
but within our files, we have both the positive and the negative
definitely.
reports that we keep track of everything.
Definitely. We keep everything, and we report to the homeowners or the witnesses exactly everything that we've collected. So.
Okay. So I think we've covered pretty much what you should look for and what you should look out for as far as groups, if you're looking for somebody to join or go ahead and request the services of one of these groups. Now, once you find one and you're going to go ahead with working with this group, there's certain things that you should expect. And one of the things is to make sure they bring the right number of people for the investigation. Generally, 5 or 6 people, but again, that really is variable depending on
the size of the
location and what they want to do. So, right. 5 or 6, maybe 15, 20 people. I know our group has had some big investigations just because we've had some really big locations to cover, and we wanted to make sure they were covered appropriately. Right. But I think the most important thing is to make sure that no matter how many people they bring, they each have a purpose.
Right, exactly. We don't want anybody just sitting there, or to being lumps.
Yeah, big bumps on the log and just kind of, so what you doing? You want to definitely make sure everybody has a purpose and they're there for a reason.
And you want to make sure that they're doing what they should be doing and that they're not violating your home in any way. Like, what would be some of the ways that,
I've seen some groups operate where you get one person who just walks through the house over and over again and just asks people, so what did you see here? Mm-hmm. And that's something that's been said or determined 3 times over. Mm-hmm. Or they're just there to make nice with the family. Yeah. So you want to make sure they have something to do. Right. So if you look at a person who's kind of wandering aimlessly and they don't look like they know what they're doing, they probably don't. And that's somebody you might want to bring to the attention of the person who's in charge and say, what is this person doing? Right. Why do I have 20 people in my house? That's a 500 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment. It's just not going to work for me.
Right. And you don't want to corrupt your investigation site either by too many people.
That's a good point. You want to make sure you keep track of everybody and that things aren't getting out of control.
You want to make sure that the investigators aren't doing, things that they shouldn't be doing, like smoking or drinking or, some kind of intoxicants or whatnot while you're, that's a good sign to look for, actually, in a group that you don't want them.
Yeah, and I, along with that, they probably shouldn't bring any media along with them unless you've requested that, which most serious investigators, to tell you the truth, will poo-poo that anyway.
Especially the first time around.
Until they figure out what the heck is actually going on. And again, if you see this stuff that makes you uncomfortable, what should you do?
Mm-hmm. Definitely tell somebody.
Yeah, either that or I just tell them to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's your house. It's your private property. You want to make sure that these people are respectful to you and they're doing a good job, doing what you're requesting of them.
Another big thing that that we've come across in watching different groups and stuff is that a lot of groups they want to look fancy and they bring all this equipment, but they don't know how to use it and they don't know what the readings mean. So that's another thing. Always ask questions. If you're wondering what someone's doing, go and ask them. Say, hey, I see that you're walking around with this little gadget. What is that and what's it doing? And if that person can't intelligently explain to you what it is that they're doing and what they're trying to achieve, that would be a good indication that maybe there's not a whole lot of intelligence going on there either. Maybe they're just trying to look fancy.
No, that's a very good point, Jen. I'm glad you brought that up. Not only mentioning how to use their equipment, but I really think they should show up skeptical. I mean, we're not saying that what you didn't experience is real. I mean, certainly you experienced it. Mm-hmm. But you want people to come in who are going to question it, because if you invited them into your home, you want to know what's going on.
Right.
And you need to be open to the possibility that there might be some natural phenomena occurring here.
Exactly. You don't want to just be, blown over by, one person's opinion either.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing I think is important is that as the homeowner, that you probably should only have the people who've been involved in the site or the experiences there at the time. Because I can remember a recent case where we showed up to do a pre-investigation. There must have been 20 people there, and it's really hard to get anything done.
Exactly. I agree. I think very imperative to have basic people who are only necessary in the home at the time of the investigation. Exactly.
Yeah, it just keeps down the confusion that goes on, especially with a uncontrolled situation.
Right.
You want to make sure you have as much control over it as you can to document what you find.
Exactly. And as I stated before, you don't want to corrupt your scene. It's almost like a crime scene. You don't want to have too many people walking through there, dragging dirt and stuff so that you can't collect the data that you need. You want people corrupting it.
Sometimes I've wanted to turn it into a crime scene with the way 20 people. It's like, well, we could make a few more ghosts tonight, but we probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, I've been there, done that. Okay, well, I think that sums it up for what you really should look for. A couple miscellaneous items. Any good ghost group will follow up with you on what they found and if there's any further need.
Present a report would be nice.
That would be nice to give you something to look at.
Right.
And the other thing with the reports is if the group wants to make it public, they definitely should get your approval on that.
Of course. That should be stated even before the investigation, that you have prior approval to state that as a publicly known investigation.
One of the things, being around for a while, and you've been doing this for quite a while too, do you feel that most ghost groups are equipped to get rid of ghosts?
Absolutely not. I think that what we do is we mostly try to document the existence of paranormal activity. We do not claim to get rid of them or to subside them or to make them happy or anything like that. I think that is more of a psychic type occurrence that they would claim, I suppose, I would say.
I might have to put that on my red flag list, as groups that claim that for $50 we can exorcise any spirits in your home.
Right. In my experience, I've noticed that I would say logically, after I've been through an investigation, I've had phone calls from the owner saying, I don't know what you did, but it's stopped. But it has nothing to do with the fact that we were there. It just has to do with the fact that, possibly it was brought to the attention or it's in the forefront of, what's going on in the home. And, it really has nothing to do with the fact that we did not claim to get rid of the ghost or anything. I don't know why. I just noticed that a lot of times I get calls.
I'm sure it's just because I'm a naturally repulsive person and not even the spirits can put up with me. But, hey, whatever works for you.
Hey, if it works, yeah.
If it works, I wouldn't complain about it.
What? You want to get rid of that ghost? Okay, Dave, hey, you want to come over here?
Just come on over and let Dave walk through the house. The ghost will be out of here in a second. One thing I think we need to warn people about is that there are a lot of questions these people will ask you, and the investigation can seem intrusive at the time.
Mm-hmm. Don't feel the need to answer everything if you're uncomfortable doing it. I think that's the biggest thing. The information that most reputable investigation groups need, that information is important to them and they do use it. But if you're uncomfortable providing that information, absolutely don't, because the way you feel about things can affect the investigation, especially in a PK type environment where we'll get into that a little bit more on another show, but like a human agent type haunting, poltergeist type thing can affect, the stress can affect the way that the homeowner is affected by it. So.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Last thing is be patient with these paranormal research groups because these people do have other real jobs that pay the bills. And nobody really has this as their full-time job as much as we'd love to be able to do this full-time.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you just got to have some patience because these people are working with families and other things and jobs, and they have a personal life, and this is something they're doing on the side because they're truly interested in it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Give them a good month, after the investigation. They should have all their data collected by then, and it's a good time frame to look at. As Dave said, everybody has their private lives, and I think a good time frame would be a month. You should have a written report within a month.
Yeah, and if you don't have one by that time, I certainly think that you have every right to give them a call and say, hey, what did you find? Can we talk about it?
Right. I would definitely do that. If you have not heard anything within a month, definitely give them a call and say, what's going on? And, I haven't heard from you in a while. A good research group would, contact you shortly after to let you know what they're going to be doing and how long it should take them. So, yeah, if you haven't heard anything, definitely give them a call.
All right. Well, I think that's going to sum it up for what to look for if you either need the help of a group or you're looking to join one. Good things to look for and really good suggestions there on your part, Jen. And I think people are going to find that informative. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. Go right to the website. And what was that website one more time?
www.paranormalresearchgroup.com.
And we can provide you any information or help that you need. So we're going to jump into our next topic momentarily here, and it's going to be paranormal research groups. Once you join one, you've had a little experience. What do you do if you want to start your own group? So we'll be right back. Ghost hunting in the 21st century. Join senior members Jennifer Lauer and David Schumacher of the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group as they take you into the controversial world of ghost hunting. This 4-hour class is designed to give you the basic knowledge every ghost hunter needs before starting your own investigation. You will gain basic investigation skills and learn how to apply them to your very own ghost hunt. Understand the differences between hauntings and ghost types and learn how to identify them. The truth about orbs, what to expect during a ghost hunt. You'll also delve into ghosts, hauntings, and the media. You will learn proper techniques and procedures on how to record EVPs, digital and 35mm photography, videography, specialized investigating equipment and its usage, and much, much more. Classes are scheduled for Saturday, April 16th, 2005 from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, May 21st, 2005 from noon to 4 p.m. And the classes will be held at Earth Song Books and Gifts at 2214 Kennedy Road, Janesville, Wisconsin. You can sign up for the classes at www.paranormalresearchgroup.com. Just click on the events button and it'll take you right to where you need to be. Or you can call 608-931-3633. We hope to see you at this most informative class. Hi there. We're back on. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. Dave Schumacher here with Jennifer Lauer from
the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group.
And we're going to now talk to you about some pearls, some words of wisdom, if you will, about how to start your own group. Let's say you've gone through the joining a group and working with them for a while, but something's come up and you want to start your own group. What should you do if you want to start your own group, Jen? You've done this.
Well, so have you, Dave.
I have many times.
Yeah, there's some things that you really need to know, and to make a good, successful group, there's some things that you really do need to know. I think before you do anything at all, you need to read up on the subject. I'm sure that you worked with a group, but you're going to be the leader, so you need to know more than everybody else. So you need to provide everyone else under you the information.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to you for training, for expertise, for knowing what's going on out there. And talking about reading, I mean, we're sitting here in our little office and look over on the bookshelf, and there must be, maybe 30, 40 different books on the paranormal. At
least. I would think more than that.
Yeah, and
not to mention movies.
Yeah, nothing wrong with watching a few good movies. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting informed. And one of the other things you can do is, of course, search the internet. There's some good information, but there's some bad information out there as well. So be wary of what you're looking for out there. The other thing is you could take a class.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And take a class with a reputable group or someone who really knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And how would you go about maybe finding out where one of those classes are? Any suggestions on that? Because I know it can be kind of hard to dig that up.
Well, I know the Flamel College out of California, they have paranormal investigation courses that they offer, as well as like UFO and investigation classes, that type of thing. I know our group offers classes on ghost hunting and learning how to use the scientific method of things to get the best evidence and document the best information.
Yeah, and I know on the website of the Parapsychological Association that they do have some sort of certificate or diploma program where you can go through and do that if you choose.
Mm-hmm. There's always the parapsychology classes as well. It's not exactly what we do, but it's a good, topic to discuss, especially if you're going to be a leader and you really want to be on top of all the great information.
Yeah, my personal opinion is if you're going to be involved in any type of ghost hunting or paranormal research, you really do need to have a good understanding of parapsychology and at least what's involved in it and what that field covers.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What else can you do? Can you contact other groups? Can you?
Absolutely. There's always the national groups as well, like the AGS, the American Ghost Society. And I don't think I stated this before, but you can find them online at www.prairieghosts.com. They have an excellent resource for different information all over the world.
Okay. Well, once you get all that information together, the next step with the advent of the internet and the World Wide Web and technology is to create a website.
Exactly. You want to make your presence known, if not on the web, but you also want to make your presence known locally.
Yeah, you want to get the word out in your local community because once you get established there, it's a lot easier to move on from there.
Do you have any suggestions on how to, give someone some advice on how to do that locally?
One of the main things that I've done in the past, and I know the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group has done, is that you would develop an information packet both for clients and the media. And that would be something you could present to them. And one of the best times, of course, to present this and get your media packet out is around Halloween.
Oh, of course.
Everybody's into the ghost thing right around Halloween.
Great time for the media to be talking to them, about what's going on in your group, too.
Yeah, and you can talk to them about, what your group does, what type of investigations, what services, and what are the other big ways to get your name out is to do things such as tours. And Jen, you've had some experience doing tours around the Janesville, Wisconsin area, and those have been pretty well received.
Oh, yeah, we do. We actually have requests every year for what's going on, we this year already, before we even got anything on the website. It's what's going on this year, what the new tours, what events you got going on. So, Dave and I had to knock our heads together and come up with some really exciting stuff, to present to everybody, because we learn things all year long. We get to all the good stuff, but during the summers and the fall, especially Halloween, is a great time to present it to the public.
Yeah, especially this time, end of March, early April, people have cabin fever and they're looking to get out and do things. And if you have the paranormal itch that you'd like to scratch, a lot of people are going to want to be out there doing tours. Right. The other thing that's very successful is try to get on some of the local radio shows. I mean, in our neck of the woods, there's some ghost paranormal shows that are specific to what we do. Some people may have also heard of Coast to Coast. They cover a variety of topics. So those are just a couple ideas. But you really want to focus on the local media as far as radio, television. We've had television crews come out and do stuff on our group, as well as newspaper interviews.
Newspaper is probably the best way to get started. I think that's how we really hit, we got our community involved with what we were doing. That was the best way. Press releases are a miracle for the small guy trying to get started. Excellent media coverage there.
And if you do try it and you don't get any response out of them, I would really suggest that you try it around the Halloween time period, because how many times do we all get requests from various newspapers, television, radio to do something with the group? I mean,
every year since year one, we've been involved with some type of media around Halloween, of course.
Yeah, you just need to capitalize on the time of year. And if you're a new group, I mean, these people aren't gonna. They just want somebody to talk to.
Right.
They want to find out where the ghosts are. They want to be scared. So take them out and let them know what you do and use that opportunity. I would caution you, of course, because, the media is the media and they're going to sensationalize things, but take it with a grain of salt and make it work for you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, don't take it personally if they, misconstrue what you say into something else, because, chances are the public's going to love it even more because it is media.
Definitely. Yeah, the little sensationalism will go a long way with helping get your group going. Once you get your name out there and you start getting calls and requests, one of the things you really need to think about is, are you going to do private investigations, private homes, offices, residences, or are you going to do more public areas that are open to everybody? Jen, would you like to comment on some of the challenges or differences that are going on with an investigation between those different areas?
Yeah, we've had a lot of different variety. We've had everything from the little farmhouse way out in the country to this publicly, nationally known house that is guaranteed to be haunted, and we've got there and we didn't get nothing. So I think, it's all on what your perspective is. And I think if you remain the same way throughout every investigation, if you have your scruples intact and you decide this is what how our organization works, we are not going to present with you false evidence, even if it's to a national movie company. This is what we have. We're not going to state anything different. So if we didn't get anything, we're going to state we didn't get anything. I'm sorry, So I think your scruples, if you keep them intact, you'll be good. You just, I can't state that enough.
Yeah, and if you're one of those groups that are looking just for a thrill to go out and take a picture of a ghost and you really have no interest in truly researching the location, you're probably better off to look at the public areas. You definitely don't want to go into somebody's home and snap a few pictures. Just say, I really want to look for a ghost. I don't care if you're scared. I don't want to deal with that. But you probably want to stay away from private investigations if that's the goal of your group, just to get out there and get some thrills.
Right. You might be better off just going to a public cemetery. Make sure, of course, that there is no signs posted after dark, because they will give you a ticket.
You might be introduced to handcuffs and jail cells, but we'll talk about that in another topic later on.
Bachelors Grove Cemetery.
Yes, that's a very popular location because it is so darn popular now that it is heavily patrolled.
Yes. And you will get a ticket.
You will get a ticket for trespassing. It is a great place to go, both during the day and the night. So be cautious there. I definitely am not going to encourage anybody to break the law.
And if you're not sure, call somebody. Ask them. Look up another group that's in the area and say, hey, if I went here, do you think there's a possibility I'd,
Nothing wrong with
Run
calling the
across-
police department.
No,
you can always ask them what the
absolutely.
rules and regulations are, and that'll keep your butt out of trouble.
Yep, exactly.
Always,
Yep.
Some of us learn the hard way, of course. Okay, Jen, we talked about getting informed, things to read. What I'd like to do is kind of talk to you about some of the books you would recommend for the new person getting into ghost hunting or the paranormal.
Absolutely. There's a lot of, well, I'm not going to say there's a lot. There are some good books out there that are real down to earth and that I would definitely recommend. One of them is the Ghost Hunter's Guidebook by Troy Taylor. Troy Taylor is an author of over like 30 different paranormal publications, but he's also the president of the American Ghost Society, which is a nationally known organization. So, I mean, that book, not only is it true to form for the would-be ghost hunter, it's actually got really good down-to-earth, you got 1 foot on the ground type information, to really get a good start as a paranormal investigator. That was probably my number one pick.
Okay. Your number one pick, and that came in number one on my list, too. If you're somebody who's just starting to get into ghost hunting and you want to learn a little bit about everything that's involved with ghost hunting, Troy's book, The Ghost Hunter's Guidebook, is a great way to get you started.
Yep.
And the most recent edition is the 2004 edition, and you can order that right through his website.
At www.prairieghosts.com.
Definitely check it out. He's got a lot of good stuff on there as well as that book. My next one that comes in, if you're more science-based, if you're looking for something that would be a little more equivalent to a college course, something that has more of an academic spin to it, and a book that I've read a couple times over, it's called Hauntings and Poltergeists, a multidisciplinary perspective. And it's edited by Horan and Lange. And I think you'd find the book very informative. They cover everything from basic types of haunting to certain causes to geomagnetic fields to radiation to seeking spirits in the laboratory, all the way up and through how your brain functions and hallucinations.
Yes. Dave really finds this book really informative. I know because he gave it to me for my birthday.
Happy birthday, Jen. Here's a ghost book. She's probably like, great birthday present. Where's my free beer?
Absolutely, though. I mean, you can really tell that somebody's really into something when they give it to you as a gift.
Yeah, it's high science
Yes.
if you like that thing. But again, if you're going to start your own group, you want to be educated. I think
Of course.
it's a phenomenal book for you to take a read. Another one I gave you, I think, as a present was Introduction to Parapsychology by Irwin.
Yes, absolutely wonderful book. I had a hard time putting that one down. I loved it.
Good.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you read the present I get you. Didn't throw it out like some of the other ones.
No, and like we said before, it's very important to be on top of what's going on, and
Yeah, you definitely want to keep up to date on the current theories of what's going on in the world of parapsychology and the paranormal. Because nothing looks worse if a homeowner asks you, what do you think? What are some of the current theories? And you just look at them with a stupid look on your face.
even worse if they know even more than you do.
It's not a good thing. When
No.
they call you to help them figure out what's going on and they know more than you do,
Yeah.
not a good situation to
Nope.
be in. Jen, if you want to take a picture of a ghost, which everybody wants to get a picture of a ghost, what is the one book you would point these people towards?
Absolutely, the book that I have found the most informative and helpful for determining the difference between fake photos and real good paranormal photos is The Field Guide to Spirit Photography by Dale Kaczmarek. Dale is the president of the, it's
the Ghost Research Society,
Yes,
I believe.
exactly.
Based out of Illinois.
Yep. And Dale has many, many years of experience with photography and the paranormal. He has had several publicly published photos, and the book is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. You just won't believe what information is in there and the best way to capture paranormal activity. It's just wonderful. So that would be my pick for that type of publication.
Okay, getting back to learning a little bit about the basics, one of the books that I think truly hooked me and got me really serious about paranormal investigation would be ESP Hauntings and Poltergeists, a parapsychologist's handbook by Lloyd Auerbach. And I believe this book was first published in 1985, and you can certainly find used copies of it. I think Lloyd also has a website that you can order a disc that contains the PDF file of the book. And for me, this was one of the main books that, back in the day really got me interested. It's a classic as far as I'm concerned. It's the first real book on how to be a parapsychologist or / ghost hunter.
Yep. I also would recommend, if you absolutely ever have the chance to listen to any of these speakers in public, definitely take up, get that opportunity. I recently had the opportunity to listen to Lloyd Auerbach at a national conference that I attended, and oh my God, I could not believe what a phenomenal speaker he was. He was very down to earth. He's a parapsychologist, but I thought he would be more on the scientific parapsychology end of things, but he really wasn't. He was all encompassing of what we do and what he does, and he was embracing the paranormal ghost type atmosphere as his own. So I really found that to be quite intriguing.
Definitely check that book out if you get a chance. The last one, for me, this was also a good one. Not being sometimes, thanks, Jen, being the brightest bulb in the bunch, and I've given this book out as a few gifts to certain people. It would be titled The Complete Idiot's Guide to Ghosts and Hauntings. So if you really don't know anything, I'm sure you're familiar with all the other, complete idiot's guides to this or that. This is a good book. Surprisingly, the title seems a little stupid and goofy, but I thought it was a good read.
Right. I agree 100%. This is one of the most knowledgeable books, actually, for the beginner out there. Along the lines of what are ghosts and how do hauntings happen, more along the lines of ghosts and hauntings, not more on the paranormal investigator type side, but it's really informational of what they are and how they work.
Yeah, and you'll get a couple good laughs out of it well. It's generally a good book. So
you get the little tips on the side, too, that are really amusing.
Those are always entertaining. So, yeah, those are the books. If you want to get informed on ghost hunting, paranormal, parapsychology, definitely check them out. And we will be right back.
Talking with our friend Mustard Troy about the movie Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves, and he plays a demon hunter / exorcist in the epic battle between good and evil. Troy, let me ask you first, why do they call you Mustard Troy?
Well, that's pretty easy, Jen, because I like mustard a lot.
Pretty self-explanatory, I suppose.
When I go shopping, I buy about 7 or 8 bottles at a time.
And how often do you shop?
Twice a week. No, once a week. No, once a month.
What's that?
What does he do with it?
What do you do with all your mustard?
I eat it on everything.
Very good.
Thank you. That's why they call me Mustard Troy. Mustard
Troy. Okay. Well, then let's spread a little mustard here, and let's get into the details of the movie Constantine.
Sure.
Why don't you start off by telling us what you thought of the movie?
Well, first off, I liked it, which is surprising. A lot of these movies I don't like. They're just too far-fetched. They don't have any basis in reality. They're just written poorly. The visual effects are bad. The actors are bad. But this movie, it was good all around. The writing was good. The effects were good. The acting was okay, pretty good. Keanu Reeves, he was all right in that movie. The story was good.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
It was good. Well, the story itself, which is based off of the comic book Hellblazer by Vertigo DC Comics, it's similar to the story of the comic, but it's its own story in itself. It veers off, and if you haven't read the comic books, then don't worry about it because it's its own story. It's strong. I've never read the comics, and I love the movie. So,
okay, being that you are a paranormal investigator, what similarities did you see in your everyday average world as a paranormal investigator that the movie portrayed? Is there much similarity there?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of similarity. He was just an average guy, well, more than average, but you'll have to see the movie, going through his life, and these things start happening to him, and he's trying to figure out why. He's trying to make other people understand what's going on, this world that most people can't see or don't want to see, and just trying to discover the truth for himself and for others, and trying to get out alive, you know.
Right. Now, I did see the movie, and I did have a little problem with the portrayal of Gabriel and Lucifer. Just personal, appreciation, I suppose, being that, Gabriel and Lucifer are on opposite ends of the spectrum here, and they both seem to be fairly the same people. What do you think about that?
Well, if you see the movie, you'll know that Gabriel is portrayed as a man/woman, no sex, more feminine, which is very much like the icons of old, the pictures of angels, more feminine, black-winged, and so in that aspect, it was accurate to those things, but it was too feminine, too, you know what I mean.
The way I saw it, though, is that Lucifer and Gabriel had the same agenda. They were both, in my opinion, they were both evil. I mean, I can see Gabriel's way of thinking because of what was going on with John Constantine. But it seemed to me like they were kind of both on the same
side.
Yeah.
Well, it would seem like that to you. It's a little more complicated than that. Gabriel tried to bring humanity back to God through committing these great evils to have humanity strive forth and overcome the evil, where Lucifer was just trying to evil it up,
right,
for the sake of making it evil, but
just doing the thing he does. Okay.
But,
well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about the movie? Say?
No, go see it. You'll like it. Buy it on DVD. Support the filmmakers.
Yes, I agree with you. It was an excellent film. It was probably the closest thing to actual that we do in a long time. Yeah. Well, thank you for being on our show, and we will look forward to seeing you in our next show.
Thank you very much, and I really like being here.
Welcome back. The last part of our show is actually dedicated to what's coming up next. We have some great shows that we have planned for our next episodes, and
what's the first one that's going to be up after this show?
Well, we have plans for Cindy Heinen, who is an EVP specialist, to come in and talk to us about electronic voice phenomenon.
That'll be very timely, considering we're coming in a little bit after the movie White Noise. She'll be able to tell us what the real story is behind EVP and what to look for and what to expect out of that.
Exactly, and I think you'll find that very informative.
I think so. Everybody's going to enjoy that. It's very popular and very controversial, so looking forward to Cindy coming in and giving us some tips on that.
Yeah, me too. Also, we have... we're going to be talking about different types of hauntings, what to look for, categorization on, different types.
basically your basic. What is a
classifications?
What's a residual haunting? What's an apparition?
Intelligent, exactly.
Okay, what RSPK, those type of things. And then future shows, I think we're going to start looking at where the ghosts are. And we're going to have some members from our group come in and give their thoughts on where the ghosts are and why they might possibly be there.
Right, exactly. We've really come across some really interesting places in our pursuits for paranormal excellence, I suppose, and we've got some people who really stand out in that field. So,
and I think some of them, at least one person I can think of, and we'll introduce you to him later in the show. Is he'll be able to provide you a unique perspective on some of these sites as well as ghost hunting, and we're going to work with him to get something that's going to make you laugh as well as get you informed.
Yeah. You'll really enjoy his perspective on things.
It's a good thing we're not regulated by the FCC when that happens.
Exactly.
So what else are we going to do in future shows here to inform people?
Well, I think we're going to be talking about some of our case reviews, some of the things that we've been doing as an investigation group, local stuff, things that are being publicly published by our group. I think that's real important.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, to go over some of our findings and describe how we went about things and what we documented, because I think we got some great evidence, and
I agree.
It correlates with what some other groups are finding out there as well. So I'm hoping this will hit home with some people.
Right, and also, you never know when someone else might want to challenge your opinions on stuff too. Great, go ahead.
Just bring it, people.
Bring it
on. We'll be glad. We're very open, and we look forward to your comments on that type of stuff. And the neat thing will be is they can get on the website and take a look at the reports probably before we talk about them on the show here. So what else are we going to look at in the future here, Jen?
I guess some places of interest to us, things that we've either experienced or are looking forward to. Maybe some publicly known hauntings, like I know that there's a conference coming up at the Queen Mary, and I think that it would be a really excellent opportunity to visit it and to talk to other paranormal investigators as well. So
that would be a good one. One of the other things that we'll focus on is equipment reviews or process reviews as well. Take a look at a certain piece of equipment, how to best use it in an investigation, look at some of the new equipment out there that might be available to help lead investigations or lead the gathering of data and information, as well as basically how to go about certain aspects of a ghost hunt. So I think those will be some real informative shows. So Jen, I think that wraps it up for our first show.
I think so.
Why don't we just remind people that I'm Dave Schumacher and co-host here,
Jennifer Lauer,
from the Southern Wisconsin Paranormal Research Group, and you can reach us at the website www.paranormalresearchgroup.com or
at our phone number at 0608 931 3633.
Sounds good, and I've had a lot of fun, and I hope everybody found this informative. Again, please remember to email us with your questions and comments on things you'd like us to cover in future shows, and we look forward to hearing from you. And again, I hope you all found this to be fun, and we look forward to talking with you in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Keep your eyes on the website to see when the next show will be posted.
It's been fun. Thank you.
Yep, and this is Dave and Jen for Ghost Gab. Have a spooky night.